Hello, I'm Chris Callahan, also known as Mr. C, and this is Forks. A fork is a utensil usually made of metal, plastic, or wood, whose long handle terminates in a head that branches into several narrow and often slightly curved tines with which one can spear food, either to hold them. Wait, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I got my videos mixed up here. Sorry. I was supposed to be doing the chess forks. Let's try this again. In a chess game, everybody wants to take their opponent's pieces, but it's hard to do, and usually the main barrier to taking the other person's pieces is the other person's move. You make a move that aims at the other person's piece, you're planning to take it, and they're too smart, and they notice it, and they move it away. And you might try again, and they move it away. This never quite works. So we need a better plan, and the better plan is a fork. The idea behind a fork is very simple. We are going to attack two different things at the same time. This way, no matter what they do, they're going to lose something. For example, if I took my rook and put it right here, you can see that I am attacking two bishops. And no matter what black does, they are going to lose one. If they save this bishop, I will take that bishop. And if they save that bishop, I will take this bishop. It doesn't matter if my opponent sees what I'm trying to do because they still only have one move to try to save two pieces. By the way, why is this called a fork? I mean, maybe thousands of years ago when they came up with the word, forks used to only have two different prongs. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't worry about it. This is a very powerful tool, and you need to start training your brain to see them. So let's practice a bit. Here's the situation. We're playing white. We have a queen, and these two knights are an excellent target for a fork. So my question for you is, where can we put our queen so that it attacks both knights at the same time? I'll give you a moment to think. Pause if you like. Well, the answer is queen to c7, attacking this knight, attacking that knight, and no matter what happens, black will be losing a knight. Here's another one, still with the queen. The queen is very good at forks. So here's our queen. Here are the two black pieces, a king and a rook. Where can we put the queen to attack both the king and the rook at the same time? Well, this is a bit of a two-part question. The answer is queen to f3 check. But I wonder, when you were looking at all this, if you saw that it didn't win the rook. This is a situation that comes up sometimes with forks, and you need to be aware of it. I know I made a big deal earlier about how you can't save two pieces with one move, but sometimes you can save two pieces with one move. Black is allowed to play the move rook f6 because that saves the king. This is no longer check, and it saves the rook because if I take the rook, I will lose my queen. So you could have played queen f3. It would be technically correct. It's a fork. It's just not a fork that accomplishes anything. Here's another good one. Knights are also excellent at doing forks because the way they move is so different from other pieces. They can attack other pieces without being attacked in return by those pieces. So white to move. There are only two black pieces. Find a way to fork them. Pause your videos if you like. Well, the answer is knight to g6 check, attacking the king and attacking the queen at the same time, and we are going to win a queen. Here's another one. This one's pretty hard because there's a board full of pieces, but I'm sure you can handle it. White to play. What would you do? Pause your videos if you like. Well, this one is a pawn fork, and pawns are another piece that's very good at forking. The answer is pawn to e5, attacking the knight, attacking the bishop. If one of them runs away, we take the other. The bishop can take the pawn, but we just take back, and we've traded one of our pawns for a bishop, which is a very good bit of business for us if we're playing white. Our next example comes from a real game. The position you're looking at occurred in a world championship match in 1966 between Tigran Petrosian, who was playing white, and Boris Spassky, who was playing black. I feel kind of bad making this an exercise because it's really hard. I don't think I would see the answer if this wasn't a very famous game, so I think I'll just launch into what the answer is. Feel free to pause and think about it if you want. So the situation we have is that black is up the exchange, which is a rook for a knight. Rooks are a little bit better than knights. And white has an extra pawn, so the exchange for a pawn, we would say. And I could take this rook right now, and maybe black would take back, or maybe the queen would take here. It's complicated. It's kind of hard to see what will happen, but Petrosian, who is playing white, found a move that actually makes things very, very simple. And the move he found was queen to h8 check, which looks totally bonkers. What are you doing? This is just a free queen. You're giving it away. But after they take the queen, which is the only legal move, maybe I'll give you a second to think here. There is a fork that makes it all make sense. Yep, white is going to play knight f7 check. That is a free rook, by the way, now that the king has wandered off. And after the king moves, we will also get a free queen. So from that complicated, confusing position we had before, now Petrosian is just up a knight for nothing, and all the other pieces are cleared off. And it ended up being a simple win. A truly beautiful move. Well, I think that's enough about forks for now. I hope you learned something useful. Best of luck finding forks in your chess game. Bye-bye.